Hey, welcome back to your math videos. We're finishing up our unit before our fraction unit before we go on to the Christmas break. Oh, summer break. Oh, that wouldn't be good. Christmas break. And so we're going to finish up because when we come back from Christmas break, we have a benchmark we have to take to cover everything that we've done so far this year. So we're finishing up. So I need you to title your paper, Multiplying Fractions and Whole Numbers. All right, today we did a little bit of multiplying fractions and whole numbers, but we did it with a unit fraction. Who remembers what a unit fraction is? You can look back in your journal if you need to. That's right, a unit fraction is a fraction that has a numerator of 1. Okay, and so we did that. Well, now we're going to take it further and go with fractions that don't have a unit of 1. Okay, so let's go with... Okay, but before we go on, I am going to show you, remember I talked to you about my bathroom was being torn apart and all redone? Well, it's almost done. I'm only missing a toilet, which is an important thing to have. But remember I showed you my shower? Well, this is what my shower looks like now. It's missing the glass. Right now it has a shower curtain, and it'll eventually have some glass. And then my sinks. Here are what my sinks look like. It's kind of hard to see, but those lights and the mirrors and my sink. So it's a nice bathroom. I'm liking it. I'm very happy with it. So now you've kind of seen my bathroom. So now we can look at fractions. When we're multiplying a fraction and a whole number. Okay, so if we're looking at a fraction and a whole number, we look at like a fraction of a whole number of 4 times 1/2. Okay, and yesterday we did a little bit of this, and we had the unit fraction of 1. We're going to take it. That's like saying, what they're saying is you have 4 squares. And those 4 squares each have a half. Maybe it's a pizza even. Each have a half. Okay? It's how many halves do you have? So with the video, with the squares, sorry, it would tell us how many we have. Well, we can do this with math without having to have these pictures or to draw these pictures, because sometimes the pictures may be kind of hard to draw. Let me make this bigger so I can erase this faster. Okay? And so what we would do is any whole number can be made a fraction by putting it over 1. So 4 wholes is like 4 over 1 times 1/2. And in this case, remember in addition we said we would never, ever, ever add the denominators? Well, in multiplication, we multiply the denominators. So we'd say 4 times 1, and we'd say 1 times 2. And I have to go to another line because I filled up too much space here. 4 times 1 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2. So I come up with the improper fraction of 4 halves. But I can't have an improper fraction, right? So I'd have to divide, and I'd have to say, well, 2 goes into 4 how many times? And that would be 2 times. And so I would have a whole number of 2. I wouldn't have a fraction, right? So you can see how that one kind of goes. So it's not too hard. It's kind of easy. Let's try another one. Let's try 3/4 of 16. Okay? And again, I'm going to use that same thing, and I'm going to think 3/4 times 16 over 1. And again, I break it down, and I think 3 times 16 and 4 times 1. Now, 3 times 16 is not really a fact I know in my head. So I'm going to come over here to the side, and I'm going to work it out. 3 times 16. 6 times 3 is 18. Oops. Carry my 1. 3 times 1 plus 1 is 4. So that would be 48. So I would solve it, and I would say 48. And then 4 times 1 is 4. And that would be 48/4. But again, that's what kind of fraction? Excellent, that's an improper fraction, so I can't use it. So I have to divide. So right over here I could say, because again, this is one I can't really do in my head. Sorry, my pen is acting up here. Let me find the button here. 48 divided by 4. Well, 4 goes into 4 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. And I subtract. That equals 0. Bring down my 8. 4 goes into 8 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Whoops. And 8 minus 8 is 0. So 48 fourths is the same as 12. And don't forget to put a box around your final answer. That will help out a lot. Okay? So these aren't real hard. Let's try one that you're going to try now on your own. Let's do 24 of 1/8. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and solve it the way I taught you to, and then unpause it and come back and check your work, okay? I'm right here, I'm not going anywhere, so just keep on trying. Okay, so you should have solved it. So again, we take it and we turn that 24 into a fraction. 24 over 1, did you do that? Times that fraction of 1/8. And then again, I'm going to say 24 times 1 and 1 times 8. And I have to go to a new line. You shouldn't have to go to a new line, but I do. And 24 times 1 is 24. And 1 times 8 is 8. And 24/8 is a what? That's right, it's an improper fraction. So I'm going to divide 24 divided by 8, and you should just know that that is 3. And that is your final answer, 3. Okay? Pretty easy. What if we had a fraction? Let me see here. Let me try. Let's see. Let's do another. I'm sorry, not a fraction. What if we had parentheses? Remember I introduced these to you last week? Okay, and so we have to think about it. Well, first you have to solve what part? The parentheses. And remind me today, tomorrow when you come to class, remind me to show you the video about order of operations that I have, okay? And we'll watch that. It's fun. So you would start off and you would do the parentheses. 3/4 minus 1/4 equals 2/4, right? And so you can then take it and you say 2/4 times 24, and that is the same as 2/4 times 24 over 1, and I break it down. 2 times 24 over 4 times 1, remember that? Okay, and then 2 times 24 is what? 48, that is correct, over 4. So you have 48/4, and we just solved the problem that had 48/4. What was that answer? Who remembers? Very good, 12. So do you see how that works? So it works just the same. It's just an added step that they throw in there is working the parentheses. All right, let's try. I want you to try another one on your own. And let's do 15 times 3/5. And I know before I was using the word of, but now we're changing it to times. Okay, and so I want you to press pause and solve this one, and then come back and we'll check it. Okay? Okay, so you should have solved this one. So you should have it. So you should know 15 over 1 times 3 over 5. And then what did you do? You did 15 times 3, very good, over 1 times 5, excellent. And 15 times 3, now do we know 15 times 3? So no, so we need to work 15 times 3 out. 3 times 5 is 15, carry my 1, 3 times 1 plus 1 is 4. So I have 45 over 1 times 5, which is 5. And 45 fifths, well, that's a what? Improper fraction. Excellent. So I have to do what? Divide. 45 divided by 5 equals... did my pen turn off again? This pen, I forgot my other one at school, and so this one doesn't work as well. There we go. Equals 9. The answer's 9. And if I can get my pen to work, it's like I've got an imaginary... Okay, you just know the answer's 9, right? And so you should have 9. And you should have it written there. All right, here we go. 9. There we go. 9. All right? So, we're not going to have any problems that I want you to solve, but you are going to have to bring in your work that you've written down on paper, and I'm going to be looking at that and checking to see if you did that part of it, because we're going to continue working on this in class and go over it, okay? So, I will see you in class.